So that was the pressing.
Okay, that wasn't a pressing one.
Oh, come like yo, that doesn't seem pressing.
Okay, so I'm gonna play something for you. I'm gonna plug in a speaker here, quick, fast.
I'll turn it down. Yes.
Yeah. Let me save the people here. A little bit of anguish here, so I don't want to hear no feedback.
I have always been with Drake. I talk to him, if not every day, every other day.
Wow.
And we really got into a deep conversation about that. I said, Drake, why are you saying all of this different stuff about me, man? Like, this is not cool. And he goes, Dad, he sells records. I said, okay, well, cool.
I wish my dad.
All right.
So you think that's the real response, or it's fake?
Okay, so that's for the people who are not in the know. That I was just playing a clip from Nick Cannon interview with Dennis Graham, Drake's dad, and he was talking about how Drake be like dogging him in the lyrics, or used to dog him in the lyrics a lot, right? Saying he was an absentee father and Ray Tay Tay. So man saying, Drake said that's just for the lyrics. All right? Mr. Graham wakes up and he says on Instagram, I woke up today hurt. My father will say anything to anyone that is willing to listen to him. It's sad when family gets to this, but what can we really do? That's when people are stuck with. When this is the people we're stuck with. Every bar I spit was the truth, and the truth is hard for some people to accept. Drizzy Drake.
Well, hey, he has his view on the situation. His dad has a view on the situation. Are they talking about, is this recently, like, or is this when he was a youth? He's talking about, like, I'm not gonna say his dad's a liar,
right,
but I'm not gonna say his dad isn't telling the truth either. It's not telling. I mean, it's telling the truth. You know what I mean? Because like, yo, if his dad and his mom were separated, you don't really know how the relationship was. Yeah, and like shit, my mom and dad, like fuck. Casualties. Everybody has their issues with their parents. So his dad might have told him one time he's coming and he didn't show up, and then that's something he just remembered, and it happened to come out in the lyric. And yeah, maybe now it's to sell music, but maybe when he was writing it was how he felt.
Well, he might be like, this is how I feel about it, and man might be like, this is how I thought it was going.
That's exactly what I'm saying. There's two sides of a story.
Yeah.
Right? Just like there's two sides of a coin.
Yeah, man could be like, yo, I called you every day and Ray Tay Tay and all that, but he's like, yeah, that's cool if you thought that was enough, but I don't think that was enough.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. His take on being there and Drake's take on him being there is two different sides of a coin, So whatever, that's for them to work out. That should have never been brought up in the media, I don't think. I think that's something, it should have been at least talked about, but in a way, it's not. I don't know if he knew that Nick Cannon was going to ask that question.
Well, apparently it's come up before in other interviews, and he's addressed it. But I guess this particular interview started going a little bit more viral, and this is when Drake was like, "Let me clap back at this." You know what I'm saying?
Well, if he felt he needed to clap back, he needed to clap back.
It's just kind of weird because like you're kind of calling the guy a liar.
But bro, if that's how you feel, that's how you feel.
Yeah, facts. If that's how he feels, that's how he feels. Like.
That Drake is lying, or
Listen to me.
This is the thing. We know that man was an alcoholic, right? What he thinks is there every day might not have necessarily been every day.
Facts.
Right? What, like you said, Friday, what Aubrey thinks is sufficient probably wasn't sufficient at the time. You know what I mean? Like what he thought, and like Kirk said, what his dad thinks is sufficient might not be sufficient for what you were looking like. You might think it's enough, but it probably just wasn't enough.
Yeah.
And it's okay for it not to be enough, but it shouldn't be something that you're discussing amongst the entire world.
And
facts.
He might have just gave him that. Yeah, it's for record sales, because he didn't want to give him the real gist of the like the real truth to the matter.
They didn't want to hurt him.
Yeah, the best answer was for him to probably say, "Yo, that's just for record sales," and he thought that was going to be the end of it. And now that it's coming out, Maybe he's like, you know what? Well, okay, let me put a little more clearer definition on what I mean. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't just for clout.
It wasn't
was
just to sell
for real.
music. It
Yeah.
was that's how I felt. You understand what I'm saying?
That's
And
what it is.
hey, there's nothing wrong with giving people honesty and being honest and letting people know that that's how you felt, especially when you're the number one selling artist in the
Yeah.
world. You know what I'm saying? Biggest artist in Toronto, so why not? So I don't see nothing wrong with it. I'm not gonna say his dad's lying. I'm not gonna say Drake's lying, but obviously somewhere their lines got crossed,
Yeah.
and that's it. They need to just go back and get it on a straight path.
Yeah, because we I think we all can relate to like the not growing up with the fathers, you know what I'm saying? And you know, fathers popping back in our lives like late, you know what I'm saying? So it's like
I was estranged from my father for over 30 years before I seen him again in
Boom.
person.
yeah. And same here. Like I haven't even got to see my dad in person. I've spoken to him, but it took me like 40 years before I got in a phone conversation with him. You know what I mean? Like he could be like, "Yo, I thought about you this whole time," but it's like, you know what, bro, thinking about a motherfucker ain't enough. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so if we want to put it to our own situation, in my 20s, I had a conversation with my pops. I haven't seen him. I said what I had to say. He didn't like what I had to say, obviously. So, boom. Fast forward until my 30s is when we talked again. And then the man was still kind of weary that I was the same way I was in my 20s, like my mind state, you know?
Yeah.
But I just told him, like, yo, what I had to say, I said. I'm past that. I'm getting older. You're getting older. Like, that's behind us, you know what I'm saying? Move forward. So that's how I look at it. So maybe the same thing is with them. They need to just figure it out.
Yeah.
You know?
They have to have a few more conversations than they
yeah.
already had. You know what I'm saying?
But I think maybe what his dad could have did was like, you know what? I don't want to answer that question. But once again, it's come out before. He's answered it before. And maybe he felt comfortable with Nick Cannon to answer it more.
Yeah.
So that's why he did what he did. But at the end of the day, there's two sides of a story. So
Facts.
his side, Drake's side, and then the truth. So, well, really three exactly. You know, like you point the finger, they say there's three fingers pointing back at you, right? So
That's a nice title right there. Point the finger, three fingers pointing back at you. Bars. Well, plagiarized bars, but bars.
This is something I heard. I didn't make it up.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm not saying I made it up. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so
Well, big up to you, Drizzy Drake. You know what I'm saying? And big up to you, Mr. Graham, Dennis Grams. Let's take a quick break.
yes.
Quick couple of announcements of things that are going on in the city. Build data and evaluation capacity for Black community. So big up to Shandy, representing for the Six Views. She providing the community information and the different things for the Love and Guidance Project. So the dates that are going on, there's for what this is, it's a networking logic mobile models and thinking ahead for Black communities. So join us for a free professional development day. Our day will begin with an interactive workshop on logic models, a visual map of program inputs, outputs, and impacts, and so on and so forth. So October 21st, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. So full day workshop. Okay, location is over at Pinecrest and Queensway Community Health Center at 1365 Richmond Road in Ottawa. So it's an Ottawa thing. See? So get your community on. And last but not least, the Abstract Learning course is going down. Hit up Abstract Learning on their website, abstractlearning.ca. October 12th, the Marketing Essentials course taught by...
That's next week.
Yeah, next week. Yeah, taught by yours truly. So get your enrollment in right now for the course. We're going to be teaching marketing on how to get your project, whether it's your music, whether it's your brand, your clothing, whatever it is, from obscurity into popularity. Seen. So again, abstractlearning.ca or on Instagram at abstractlearning. Let's go to the break here. I got a track here by A.R. Paisley. Letter to the Labels.
Easy,